Save that for another show. Hey, what's up, America? This is Goodnight America. I'm America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan. Today's guest, oh my God, fucking crazy. Let me just tell you, this Brent Webb, he's an acclaimed mind power expert and motivational entertainer. He's headlined his own programs at hotels, resorts, casinos, cruise ships, and colleges. He's created seminars and training programs for Fortune 500 companies like Google, Ford, Nabisco, Hilton, and professional sports teams like the Browns, Diamondbacks, and Dodgers. He's worked with superstars like Joan Rivers, Shaka Khan, Jessica Simpson, Dolly Parton, Sia, Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, and Kenny Rogers, and he's been to the White House twice. He has glowing reviews from celebrities you may have heard of, Michael Jordan, Jay Leno, and Bill Clinton. I've never heard of any of these companies or celebrities. You've been doing this for 30 years. When are you going to get your shit together? Here's very, very impressive. So this is, I'm going to let you talk. I swear to God. My research on you came in 2 stages. Last night, I watched a lot of your videos where you do your mentalist things, and I was blown away. I was afraid to talk to you because I thought you would know how often I think of the late 90s, early 2000s DVD series, Girls Gone Wild. But then this morning, I went on YouTube and I watched a lot of mentalist debunking videos, which I got to tell, I still can't tell how you do what you do, but I felt a little better about the whole situation. Pause. I also watched a TED Talk by somebody named Darren Brown. Are you familiar with him?
Very, yes.
Okay. So he said this thing that I thought was very interesting. He said, it's a testament to the seductive appeal of some powerful figure offering you easy, simple answers to life's complex and subtle questions and anxieties. And I think that the pull towards magic and mentalism and psychics is sort of that. But we also we like spectacle. We like to be wowed. It does twist the structure of the average day. So I came to this, I was thinking about this. Was it that you have been doing this kind of thing for 30 years? You're like, oh my God, humans are so stupid. I have to write some books to make them less stupid. Does any of that fall into, does that make sense at all?
It makes sense. But I mean, what happened to me was I have been an entertainer my whole life. The first 15 years of my career, it was all about shows and, Vegas and celebrities and that. But when I started working on my own mindset, that's where everything changed. I do a kind of a hybrid now. I mean, it's entertainment, but I'm also delivering a message, and I'm teaching people how you can get control of this thing. We've all got this supercomputer inside our head. Nobody knows how it works. They go through their entire life without any idea how to utilize this thing. I mean, it can completely change your life. So I've kind of made that my passion. I mean, it's really been something that, I still go around the world. I still do shows, but I always do this as well. I always try to, teach people. You don't have to go anywhere, buy anything, do anything special. You don't have to earn it. You have this inside you. You just don't know how to use it.
So the Vegas thing is interesting because, the comedian Dave Attell, have you ever heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
So he has this great line, which I didn't really understand. It's on his album, Skanks for the Memories. And he said about Vegas, he was like, what Vegas doesn't have is a zoo, which sucks because after 3 days of drinking, drugs, and hookers, you kind of want to see a panda. And I think Vegas is, it's an exemplary of total debauchery all the time. And you were doing a show that's all entertainment. At some point with Vegas, you're like, oh, I got to get back to work. I need a smoothie. Is that sort of where you got to too? Were you just doing pure entertainment? You thought maybe I need some meat to this. I need to help people.
Well, Vegas is an illusion. If you're, even when you live there, if you don't live in Vegas, you live outside of town. The tourists, that's, Fremont Street, that's the Strip. So I like being in a different world. Especially if you're doing 2 shows somewhere where you've got it like an early and a late show, you can't really leave. So you're in the casino. I know celebrities that are gambling addicts. I know celebrities that are, like me, addicted to the buffet. Would be my place of choice. But, there's always something. So yeah, there's like a seedy underbelly going on with everything. You just kind of have to pick your level of grossness, what you want to do, what you decide is going to be your debauchery.
If there's anywhere you want to embrace grossness, though, Vegas seems like
that's right.
Not bad. That's it. So let's go backwards, though. You, I watched a few videos of yours. Like I said, you were an only child. Is this in Ohio? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
And then you started to go check out magic books at the library, and this is where it started. So you teach yourself magic. I would assume you started card tricks and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but from there to Vegas, what happens? That's dreaming, baby. That's making it happen. Not a lot of kids from Ohio, I think, go on to have stage shows in Vegas, unless I'm wrong.
No, Arsenio Hall, he's from Ohio. He's from Cleveland.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I decided pretty early on I wanted to be an entertainer, but I had no real talent as far as, I mean, I'm not a singer, I'm not a comedian. What am I going to do? So of course I was a little chubby only child. And I started doing magic like many chubby only children. And I went to the library about 10. I would go every Saturday. I was about 10 and I got a copy of the book, The Magic of Believing, by accident. And it was all about the mind and the power of belief. So even at 10, I read this book and I knew, wow, there's really something here. So I really started kind of utilizing that. And I mean, I went on the road when I was 19 and I met Joan Rivers and I did all of that. But the first 15 years, it was just entertainment. Like I said, it's really after that, I did a meditation retreat. I kind of got in touch with started meditating, and it really opened up my eyes. So I kind of switched then, but that's what got me there in the first place. Just the idea of, I'm going to do this. I thought that was what it was all about, making the money, getting the house, getting the cars. And then when I got all that, I realized it's really nothing that I thought it was. Because my whole life I thought I'm going to be happy when, like we all do, I'll be happy when I get this. I'll be happy when I get that. And like anybody, you get it and it doesn't make you happy. You want the next thing. And so I realized, wow, my whole life I've been fighting for this, and now I've got it, and it's really hollow. So, I kind of had one of those, I don't know, epiphanies back then.
Is the idea, though, that any particular thing will make you happy permanently it's stupid in general? I think, like, if you ever get a great car, the car of your dreams, say, or whatever, it doesn't matter what the thing is, as long as you say that I recognize this isn't going to make me permanently happy, but that's temporary spike of dopamine, it means something. Does that make, you know what I mean?
It does, but it also, if you live your entire life like that, you constantly are putting happiness ahead of you, because then it's in something. It's in a car, it's in a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's in a house, it's in a smaller butt, it's in whatever. If you constantly do that, you never can be happy, because happiness is really an inner thing. I mean, you can't go out and buy happiness. You can rent it maybe for a while, right? But you can't buy it. You can't buy confidence. You can't buy courage. Those are inner things. Like, you have to grant those to yourself. But everyone thinks they're in the outer world in something. I have to earn it. I have to buy it. I have to steal it. I have to get something. And so it takes happiness away from you and puts it on this. It's dependent on someone else, something else, somewhere else. So when you start to realize that, like, everything you need is here. It sounds corny, but it really is true. Everybody's looking outside when it's actually, you need to go in to figure out what's going on. Get in touch with yourself.
I've heard one of the fallacies, so heaven, for example, is supposed to be pretty good. Listen, I'm agnostic, so I don't believe in any of this shit. But sitting around all day in leisure seems to be the thing that we all want, right? You're tired here. You're always busting your balls for the next thing. Bada bing. Heaven, you finally get to rest. Everyone's around. Although I tell you, I don't think it's going to be anything like Vegas. I think it's going to be a lot of just like sitting around. I don't think there's going to be a lot of cocaine in heaven. But I've heard that what really makes people happy is the pursuit of something. When they have a mission, they have a goal, they're waiting and wanting and working to achieving it, then they do when it sort of starts over. I think life is pretty Sisyphusian. You just have to kind of sort of fall in love with the idea that you're pushing the thing up the hill and then it's going to roll back down and you do it again. Do you find any credence in this idea?
I think that's what everyone does. Yes. But I think if you realize you're fighting it the whole time, this is the problem. It's like the universe has been going on for billions of years. The planet has been here for billions of years. All these zillions of things had to happen, even for you to be here. And now you're here and you don't like it. I don't like what's happening in front of me. I don't like this. So you're fighting with it. It's like when you release the idea that it has to be the way you want, because that's what we're doing. You've decided in your head how you want it to be. And now you're going to do everything you can to try to make it that way, which means you're fighting with reality. You're twisting people and places. If you let all that go and let life just happen, I mean, of course, you do change things you want, you do things you want, but you don't resist it. And that's what a lot of people do. They don't like it. I don't. So they hold it in, they keep it away. When you let go of all that and just let life happen, everything changes, because the resistance is what's causing the problem. It's you, it's us, it's you. It's not the world, it's not your parents, it's not God, it's not your boyfriend, it's not any of that. It's you. And when you realize I can remove this block, that's all you got to do. I mean, it really is a mental thing, but no one does it. We have a 7-second attention span now. Think about it. I mean, it's like so mind blowing. It was 7 minutes in 1989. It's 7 seconds now. So our whole life is on a phone. All we do is, I've been to concerts where it's like $1,000 a seat, people all around me watching the concert on their phone and recording it. It's
And
like,
you're
what are
never
you
going to
doing?
watch that again. That's the other thing too.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna, hey, you want to see REO
REO Speedwagon.
Take a look at my fucking phone. Isn't this great? You're never fireworks. This is another thing that drives me crazy. Anytime there's fireworks, people take videos. When the fuck are you going to watch a fireworks video?
And when is it ever going to be better than seeing it? You're seeing real fireworks, not a video of fireworks. I mean, it's mind blowing.
It is mind blowing. But this is what I think. So for 300,000 years, humans have just tried to stay alive. We've tried to stay warm and fed with root vegetables. You know, I think the idea of happiness is relatively new, because I think if you were working in a coal mine in 1850, you didn't have a lot of time to, you know, meditate and work through whether I feel good or bad about going to work. You had to go to work or you died. 1750, you got to make sure the crops are growing or your family dies. There's infant mortality. There's typhoid and dysentery. Our brains were constantly just fucking try to stay alive. Then we're like, yeah, we're alive. This is pretty good. We have air conditioning. We have heat. We have beds. Now we have to find some shit to worry about. And I think we're in our own heads a lot. That's not, I mean, I don't know that there's a way that we can fight that. Although you suggest there is. Meditation starts there.
Absolutely. I mean, the only way to get control of this thing is to connect with yourself, because that's what meditation does. It's not a religious thing. It's just a tool. And I mean, we've done it since the beginning of time. Nowadays, it's so fast paced. No one ever takes a few minutes to sit. And that's what it is. It's kind of sitting quietly, connecting with yourself, because there's a voice talking in your head, right? You've got a voice narrating your life that's telling you why you can't do things and how stupid you are and how ugly you are and how you're never going to have what you want. This thing talks in your head nonstop. It's just like a program that you've created from all your past experiences. So you've got this bitchy roommate up there. It's like if you lived with a person in real life that was talking to you like that, you'd be gone in a day, but you never leave. I mean, this thing is up there. So yes, you need to get control of it. It's like you've laid down next to it and let it go nuts up there, and you have control.
Your bitchy roommate, I happen to know his name is Carl. Is that correct? Look at this research. Listen to this top-notch research we do here at Goodnight America. Okay, so walk me through this idea. I think you said something to the effect of this bitchy roommate's first manifests itself in the first 8 years of life. Is that what's your hypothesis on this? Can you run it through?
You create this ego, this false version of yourself. The first 8 years, they call it the formative years. But those are the years when, you know, people may say, oh, if your parents were, if you had bad parents, they were saying you're too stupid, you're too ugly, you're too whatever. Those first 8 years, no matter what's going on, you're a child, you're not mature, you're building this psyche. I like this, I don't like that, this scares me, blah, 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 blah. So now you're an adult and you've got all this rusty programming, and it runs about 80% of the day in the background inside your head. Like you don't even know what it's doing. It's like you're driving down the road. You're not going, I got to turn left up here and then I'm going to go. No, your mind's going, remember the birthday party in third grade where you peed your pants? I mean, it says stuff seemingly for no reason. This voice just talks. So there's the voice that you make talk. Like if I was trying to think of something, or if I wanted to say, look, I want you to say the word house in your head. You can hear that. You can hear that voice saying that in your head, right? House. You can hear it. But then there's the voice that just talks. Like I said, you're driving and all of a sudden it says something. And then it says, remember the party where you peed your pants in third grade, everyone laughed. Then all the feeling comes back. You get flushed, you get embarrassed. I mean, you know this, right? Like you broke up with somebody and they drive a red pickup truck. Now, every time you see a red pickup truck, you get all the feelings because it's something that you've kind of suppressed. So as an adult, it's like, what is the voice in your mind saying? You got to figure it out, because awareness is, I call it the ABCs of mind power, but it really is the three things. Awareness is the first. What is the voice saying in your head when you're on autopilot? That's 80% of the day. So yeah, you name it. I did that a long time ago. It sounds stupid. And it sounds like one of those Saturday Night Live sketches with the motivational speaker, like, you know, people like you looking in the mirror, right? But it's not. You name the voice. And now when the voice talks and you hear it, you stop. And you kind of look at the voice like a child. It's a petulant child, and it's not the voice of God. It's not the voice of the future. It's not some thing to scare you or pull you in to some drama. It's programming. And so when you start looking at it like that, it takes the sting away. It's like anything that you drag into the light, it just doesn't hold up anymore. But that's programming from decades and decades ago for most people. So it's like, you don't even know. I can't even remember. I mean, a lot of us can't. I mean, you don't remember most of 5, 6, 7, 8, what was going on exactly then. But now you've got this program, you're 40 years old and it's running your life. And you created it when you were under 10. So why would you want to live with something that, you know, it's no longer, it doesn't make any sense to your life. I mean, it's literally crap. Listen to what it says sometime. Start writing it down and you'll see it's just ridiculous. It'll take both sides of the argument. It'll give you shit advice and then completely change and give you the opposite advice. And we just never look at it to go, this makes no sense.
Why is the voice in our head generally bitchy? Does that serve us at all? Like, what's the explanation? Well, shouldn't we have a nice roommate that cleans up after themselves and contributes to the bills?
Yeah, you would think you wouldn't need a roommate at all, but it's negative because first of all, it's like all we're doing is trying to get what we want and to try to not get what we don't want. That's what we're doing almost every day, trying to get the things we want and stay away from what we don't want. Well, the voice is trying to kind of help you. That programming is helping you. But even a positive thing, like the first time you kiss someone and your girlfriend and it's so positive, we hold on to that. But over time, it becomes negative because you're trying to make it happen again. You're trying to keep that feeling. So even the really positive can become negative over time. But then, of course, you store everything like I was afraid of a snake. I was 4 years old and I got scared by a snake. Now, nobody can say snake. You can't go to the reptile house in the zoo. You can't walk down the road and see a coiled up rope on the ground because now in your mind, you've got this thing about snakes, but we do it with everything. Everything that scares you, everything that makes you happy. You've got all these preferences and you expect life to kind of fit into that. And when you step away from that and just let life happen, everything changes. There's nothing to, it's like you're holding on, but we're all holding on too tight. You release your grip a little bit and everything starts to change.
I was thinking about this last night because I listened to one of the videos where you talked about this. And I thought, what we should do is move in another roommate who's positive all the time. And then what you have, though, is you have two people having the opposite opinions on something, but you can choose to believe the person in your head that's saying good things, which is, I think, a sort of healthy delusion, isn't it? Because it's not as if both of them can be absolutely right and absolutely wrong. One saying good shit, some good shit's probably true. One saying bad shit, some bad shit's probably true. But if you have a little sort of delusional narcissism, I think it takes you a long way. I think Trump has plenty of delusional narcissism, and look where it got him.
I say it all the time. I mean, people that have very little talent, but an overabundance of self-confidence are almost always more successful than somebody who is ultra talented and very little self-confidence, because it just pushes you up because you don't take no for an answer most of the time when you do that. But the voice in your head, it's never giving you good advice because remember, it's like a computer that you've stored only your information from the past in. So if you're asking that computer to give you an answer, it only has memory of your past experiences. So it's never going to give you anything outside of that. I mean, you can try to, think into the future, but it doesn't work. It's like your past has created this thing. And now when you ask it for advice, it's giving you advice based on your past. It's like driving a car. You've never cleaned the windshield all your life. And it's like you're looking through layer after layer. It's like my mommy did this happened when I was 8. You're looking at reality through this lens of all your past. And that's what every one of us does. And then we wonder why relationships never work. Things don't work. It's like, none of us are the same. We're all different with our own crap. And then we expect to meet someone and then all of a sudden life's going to be perfect. It's like, you got to work on yourself. And then I think everything gets better. Then you'll meet somebody amazing.
Do you think the roommate's bitchy because we like to ruminate? Well, we like high emotional things, which is, I think, part of the reason why magic and mentalism and this shit, where like it's interesting, unique and exciting. And it sort of piques your interest. So do negative experiences because they're highly emotional. And maybe just because life is the way it is, you have more of those than you do like super amazing moments where you hit the game-winning home run or you get an A+, your parents thrilled or whatever that is. So you ruminate on the high emotional experiences. They tend to be negative, and then the roommate's bitchy. Does it make any sense?
Well, in your entire life, you've probably had 6 or 7 peak experiences. You can usually count them on, both hands or less, right? How many negative experiences do you think you've had? It's literally thousands. So it is so skewed. I mean, think about it. And what we do, you would think if you didn't like something, you would get rid of it. But it's like hoarders inside your body. It's like that TV show Hoarders. You take the thing you don't like. Okay. For instance, snakes. So you take that, but you don't get rid of it. You hold it in yourself with willpower. Every time something reminds you of a snake, it tries to come back up. I mean, this is trying to leave. This energy pattern, the feeling, the thought, it's trying to leave. It comes up. What do? You push it back down. And that's what we do our entire life. It's like, don't go there with me. You know what that means? You're getting close to my stuff. You can't talk about this with your father. Dad has some stuff. That's what happens. But nobody ever wants to like let it come up, and you push it right back down. So think about it. If you're doing that with one thing, you're doing it with 1,000 things. And every time you do that, it takes a little bit of willpower. And then people wonder why they have no energy. It's like literally all your willpower is stretched out over all of this crap. Yeah. And once it starts releasing, meditation will do that. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to a therapist. You don't have to talk about your life. You don't have to cry. You literally sit in silence and you just connect to yourself. I just tell people count 1 to 20 over and over again. What it does is it creates an amazing ability to focus. Nobody knows how to focus. That's how you build focus. Every time your thoughts go somewhere else, you go right back to the counting, and it pulls back your focus. I mean, it's incredible. And like I said, you don't have to go anywhere, buy anything. You can do this right now where you are. There's nothing else to do. Nobody wants to do it.
I prefer to drown my feelings in brown booze. Do you think that's healthy? I know you're going to say no. You're going to say no. All right. It's funny. You mentioned something like self-confidence and self-belief is magnetic. And I think because it's rare, isn't it? Here's the thing about, the delusion of self-beliefs. I read this book called The Psychopath Test, and they say some astronomical percent of Fortune 500 CEOs fail the psychopath test. They're a little psychotic because I think you kind of have to be. You need that thing that shuts off the emotional part of your brain that says you suck. You need the part that go, no, you're fucking amazing, despite all the failures, despite what society would say, but no, we live in a society too, where everybody, like, to call somebody a narcissist is everyone's a like if any chick ever breaks up with a guy, it's because he's a narcissist.
Right.
So we've villainized this. We've almost villainized the idea of, and I'm sure they mean narcissistic in a different way that we're talking about, but just sort of believing in yourself, thinking you are great. That seems to be a thing that we don't like as a society. If there's a certain amount of sports fans that hate when somebody scores a touchdown and celebrates or gets excited after a home run. So like self-celebration isn't something that Americans, on the surface at least, tend to like. You know what I mean?
Well, no, because nobody knows how to do it. They're all miserable.
Yeah,
so
we're jealous.
It's much easier to be in something familiar. So even if you are miserable, misery, if you know what it is, if you're used to it, is much easier to take for somebody than change or doing anything different. So they would rather be miserable, and they'd rather make you miserable. That is the problem. So everybody's out to get each other. Everybody thinks I have to get mine before you get yours, or I want it. It becomes this competition where it's all of us against each other. And you're absolutely right.
So was it you're an entertainer for all these years. You start meditating. I think you said now that you meditate, you don't drink. You don't smoke anything. You're a vegetarian. Is this all true?
Yeah, and I am from the Midwest. I am a chubby boy from the Midwest, pepperoni pizzas and hamburgers. And I mean, to tell me I would be a vegetarian, it literally, you might as well tell me you're going to, get a tail and become a kangaroo or something. It's like, there was no way. But yeah, I've been a vegetarian for 2 years. I've lost 60 pounds in the last year and a half, doing it slowly. I mean, I was like 320 at the biggest. I quit drinking 10 years ago. I haven't had a drop of alcohol. I quit smoking 2 packs a day. I had cancer and kind of dealt with that with a mindset issue back then. And so, yeah, everything I've come up against, whether it be finances, or anything, you realize it's a mindset thing. And the way you're dealing with it, it's not the way life is, it's the way you're looking at life. I mean, life's not doing this to you. You're doing it to yourself about life. That's what people don't get. It's like, you have this power, only you, like nobody's going to do it for you. And hearing us talk about it today isn't enough. Reading a book about it, watching The Secret or some BS documentary, I'm going to wish for a Ferrari and it's going to be in my driveway. I mean, it's ridiculous. You've got to do something where you're in touch with yourself and you're moving towards your goals, not sitting on the sofa eating a ham sandwich, praying for, Ferrari. It just doesn't work.
I know, that sucks. Jerry Seinfeld said something to the effect of, you got to find the torture you're comfortable with, because the motivation thing's going to run out. You have to do this. It's going to be habitual. You got to do the same shit. And I think that's probably what's good about meditation too, because people do it every day. They set aside time to be mindful, and it's compounding. It gets, it teaches you things every single day. You're doing something every single day that's not necessarily fun, but it's discipline.
It does.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it becomes, I meditate twice a day, 45 minutes at a time. I'm telling you, if I didn't, there'd be no way I would do that with my schedule. I mean, I tour the world. I'm leaving flights 5 a.m. I have to get up at 1 a.m. to meditate sometimes for my morning meditation, but it's changed my life so much. And again, it's not like I'm selling you something and I'm telling you, well, you got to do this. You got to try the Thigh Master or the meditation device that I'm selling you. You can do this right now where you are. Nobody wants to try it because once you start sitting by yourself, what starts right away? The voice, the bitchy roommates. Why are we doing this? My arm is sore. Why are we, that's what's going to happen. Nobody wants to be tortured by that voice. It's literally this thing in here knows everything you've ever done. It knows all the stuff that nobody ever caught you doing, all the stuff you would be embarrassed to ever let anyone find out. And guess what? It'll use it against you. Remember that time? I mean, it will. This thing you've created is a monster. And it's like, it doesn't want to be trained. It's not going to, it's not easy at the beginning. You're going to sit there and count meditating. And it's going to be like, you're counting, I say 1 to 20 over. And no, it's literally 1 to 20. If you go to 47, you go right back to 1. If you start thinking about what you're having for lunch, you go right back to 1. You don't try to figure out where you are in the counting, why you're thinking that. And every time you do that, you're creating focus. And then you're right. It comes out into your life. And something happens, you make it. And because you're saying, oh, you don't like it, but you will start to like it because you start to hit something there where it is joy. You're hitting something. So when that comes out, it's addictive. It's like, I got to get back there. So you're excited to get back into that meditation because you're trying to hit that feeling again. So you're mining something. I mean, it's really every time you pull back your focus and you sit there quietly, you're connecting with the real you. I mean, the soul you, if you want to say, or it's like, how do you know that there's a voice in your head? It's like, you're the overseer, you're the awareness. You're not the thoughts. You're not the voice that's talking. It's programming. You're the one that realizes it's talking. Otherwise, how would you know? It'd just be going on. But like if you look at things like that, I mean, like you are the consciousness. That's what you are. You were in the body when you were 4. You're in your body now. The body doesn't look the same. I could cut off your arms and legs. You'd still be in there because you're inside. You're not this body. You're not the thoughts. It's like you are the soul you. Yeah. So, and the heaven you were talking, I think we're just energy. And I think, we go back out into the universe. And I think, but we're intelligent energy. We don't have bodies. I mean, we're down here in like these meat robots. It's like driving a car around. It's like you're up on Mars in a rover. We're down here in this thing, right?
It is weird.
It is. I mean, think about it, how amazing life is. It's like it rains, water pours from the sky, it waters things, crops grow out of the ground. Everything is perfect. We're on a rock in outer space and we're worried about what Mary thinks of our dress, the ketchup on our pants. Think about it. It's like you're in outer space on a giant rock and you're worried about all this crap that who cares? It's like, you're not going to be here in 100 years. Why do you give a shit?
Not only are we not going to be here, but Mary's not going to be here. Everybody knows Mary or us. Or here's the thing. There was some farmer in 1310 that was worried about this shit, and nobody knows him or the people that he was concerned about. It's so conceptually bizarre. I don't know how it's built into this system. Too, about the who's in charge thing. Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. Have you read that? He said this thing where we've all had this experience where you freak out or something. And then you take a step back. You're like, why did I react like that? That's conceptually bizarre because I did that. And I don't know why I did that, which means I think someone's else in charge some of the time anyway. Has the meditation killed Carl, or is Carl quieter now? Do you have to do it to keep Carl at bay? Like, where does Carl stand right now?
Let me tell you, I don't normally in my seminars and my shows, I don't really go into it because I don't want for people to be doing it for that reason, but that's exactly what happens. There's nothing to talk about when you're okay. It's because we're not okay. The voice is talking. It's trying to make us okay. When you become okay, the voice stops talking. A couple of weeks ago, I was on a ship and I had to do one of these drills with the passengers and the crew. And it was 100 degrees and I'm a big guy and I'm standing outside thinking, okay. And I'm out there going, for a while, everything's fine. And then after a while, Carl comes back. I haven't heard from him for a while. And he starts to say, why are you out here? I'm hot. This is ridiculous. Don't they know who you are? I mean, it starts saying all this crap, right? So what I do is I take the big picture and I go, why am I hot right now? Right? You go, why am I hot? There's a star 93 million miles away. There's a star that is so hot that you feel the heat from it. How incredibly amazing is that? That is why you're hot. Like I'm literally starburned. It's not sunburn, it's starburned. That's magic. So when you look at it like that, again, it's just perspective. You're shifting a little bit of it. And what you said about putting two voices up there, you can definitely change what the voice says. That's an old, like Yogananda, who was a great master, you know, a yogi from early 20th century. Was his thing. It's like the voice is talking, whatever it says, and you hear it, you just replace it with the opposite of whatever it says. So you take, if it says something negative, I'll never get out of this. You just replace it with, I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to be fantastic. Whatever. It's like fake it till you make it. You know, fake it till you make it. It's not get a fake Rolex and rent a Mercedes and pretend you're rich. Yeah. It's, you know, feel like you're the person, get into that. And then until you become that, it's like, think like the person you want to be, you'll become that person.
Yeah. I think a lot of pain comes from the expectation of reality not meeting what it actually is. So traffic is a good example. If you drive into Boston every day, you expect traffic. You're not going to get constantly road ragey because it just is what it is. You've accepted it. But if you ever go somewhere and you're going to be late, you didn't anticipate traffic, that's when you start to lose your fucking mind. So you just didn't want to be outside hot and sweating at this thing. I mean, but fucking people are, so the perspective thing, but humans have a really hard time with perspective.
I know. That's why if you ever hear like an interview with an astronaut or that read an astronaut's autobiography, almost every one of them says something about everything changed for me when I saw the Earth from the moon, or I saw the Earth from outer space, and it was no longer I'm on Earth, I'm looking at a ball that is Earth. That, and who gets to see that? I mean, like, how many people get to see that? So, but almost every astronaut has like that spiritual awakening because it's just such a different thing than you're used to. It's like, oh, holy crap, that's where, everything I'm worried about, all these troubles. And just like, I love what you said about, somebody in the 1300s, right? You don't know who they are. You don't know anybody they knew. It's all gone and lost to history.
They're meaningless.
Right. And they wasted their life wanting things and trying to make things happen. And when you try, it never works out. But even if it does slightly, it's relatively quick and it's over. Like you can never get things. It's like reality's happening. You're never going to twist it to fit. And if you do just for a second, it's like reality's here again in the next moment. You just can't do it. It's like, let go of it.
It's tough though, I think, to let go. You have this, I went to your Instagram page and I like a lot of the stuff you put on there. You have that thing, that classic Bill Hicks, it's all a ride.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Do you, I've had a lot of people on lately that are a little psychedelic-y. Do you think psychedelics help us tap into anything that might explain a more truthy version of the life that we're leading? Where do you feel? I know you're straight narrow now, but you did Vegas for a long time.
It's not. I mean, I still smoke a weed on occasion. I've done mushrooms and stuff in the past, and they definitely the right psychedelic. I mean, there's like DMT. There are certain things that change your life. I mean, Mike Tyson talks about that. He did
5-MeO. He did the Desert Toad, and then he talked to God.
Right. Yeah. Something. A door opens for a lot of people. The bad thing is about a quarter of the people have like the worst trip ever, and it becomes trauma. But if you do that correctly, like, you go to somebody. There are places. I don't mean like you go to see a shaman out in a shack somewhere in Africa. You go to a wellness center, and they do these things. Medically, it'll change your life, especially if you're suffering from a lot of inner trauma, like you're being tortured all the time with the voice, and that can change that. So I don't look down on anybody. I mean, of course you don't want to drink away your problems because they don't go away. But if something like mushrooms or something gets you in connection with yourself, I'm all for it. Like whatever it takes within reason and not hurting anyone else, then you should do it. I mean, it's all about you.
Yeah. Well, with the meditation thing, listen, I don't, although I have floated in sensory deprivation chambers, and they say that you get into a theta wave mindset, which is the same thing that monks up on a mountain do. And then I am a fan of mushrooms, but I've never done the heroic dose, which is what they say you get ego death. And I was like, fuck it, I've never really paid attention to that word. But when I looked into it recently, like an idiot, ego death is sort of your soul separated from your body. You cease to exist as a physical being. That's what I was getting in the sensory deprivation tanks. I just didn't have the word for it. I used to tell people, you're off in space. It's weird. So I guess my point is through meditation and through psychedelics, there is something else besides the physical world that we experience in the world that we live in within our heads. I think that's so conceptually interesting, but you have to try to tap into it. You need to meditate 45 minutes a day. You got to float.
I mean, you do 5 minutes. I'm telling you, you wake up and you do 5 minutes. You want to do it first thing in the morning because what you said is right. You're in a theta state, but you're only in that for the first 15, 20 minutes when you wake up. So you don't want to go eat breakfast and you don't want to go do a bunch of things. You want to meditate almost immediately. If you don't have to go to the bathroom, sit down and meditate, because all you're doing is sitting in a chair, straight back, hands on your knees, feet flat on the floor. It's literally, you're sitting in a chair. You don't have to be cross-legged on the floor. And you take a couple of breaths in, close your eyes, count 1 to 20 for 5 minutes, set your phone. That's it. You do that in the morning. You do that around 1 o'clock. If you do it too late, the energy will keep you up because it starts to create. I mean, it's incredible. It's like you get an energy blast around 1 o'clock. It carries you through the rest of the day. So 10 minutes a day, 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon will change your life. And then if you want to add a minute or two every couple of weeks, you'll want to do it at that point. But if you can make yourself do twice a day, 5 minutes for just a week, you will see, you'll get the proof yourself. It's like, don't believe me. I want you to do it and get it for yourself, because once you see it, that's it. You'll do it for the rest of your life. I mean, I promise you.
This is another, so, you know, I mentioned I'm agnostic. I really don't believe anything, but if there's anything that's going to make me believe in a higher being, it's in the opposite. So people would normally go, I believe in God because everything's joyous. I believe there might be a God because he's fucking with us, because it's so much easier to eat 3,500 calories and gain a pound than it is to work off a pound. You know, it's so much easier to try to drink your feelings away than do the hard work of meditation. But here's the thing. We don't do the things that are good for us because they're hard. Working out is hard. Dieting is hard. Meditation is hard. But anyone that does those things for a long time and forms habits around them doesn't go, oh, this shit sucks. Like, you're in better shape. You feel better. You have mental clarity, but it's so difficult. Why? Why can't the steak have the caloric shit of a salad? You know, like, you would split the shit. Wouldn't it be a better place?
Of course. Easy. It's like life, but life isn't meant to be easy for you. It's not meant to be easy or hard, but you know, again, when you go out looking for, it's got to be this way. I only want this. Right. I only want this. It's like you're purposely pitting yourself against the universe. Whatever you believe in, it's you versus that, because now you're saying, I want it to be my way. Like, we all think it has to do with us. It's like, you know, you're just here for a blip of time. It has nothing to do with you. If your great grandmother didn't meet your great grandfather, you would never even be here. Right. But it's like, you think it has to do with you. So when you step back and go, hey, you know, this is happening, I'm just going to let it happen and go from there. Yeah. I'm telling you, I mean, it just, you know, I can't say it enough. It changes everything.
You got to let it go. Although some things are like objective, right? Like, objectively, a Twinkie tastes better than arugula.
Of course,
objectively, you know, sleeping with a bunch of chicks is better than monogamy. You know, well,
right, and they're created that way. A Twinkie is created to be addictive. I mean, Little Debbie's and stuff. There's people that remember the Twinkie defense. The guy who killed that guy in San Francisco, right? Oh, the Twinkies made me do it. The junk food made me do it. So I mean, those things are created that way. And of course, the dopamine fires. But another great tip people don't understand is, like, your mind doesn't know if you're doing something or thinking about it. Like, I do a lot of sports teams. They bring me in, right? They hire sports psychologists, and these guys teach them how to run the match in their head, play the game in their head. And they literally can improve their game by never even leaving, you know, the locker room, just by doing these mental exercises. So there's something to it.
Well, the manifesting thing, I think, listen, I've said this every episode of the show, but we are binary absolutists. So we believe things are either absolutely true or absolutely not. I think the manifesting thing, there is obviously something to it, because I can't make a ham sandwich without first thinking about making a fucking ham sandwich and then doing the action that gets you the ham sandwich. Now, Jay-Z, if he was never a famous rapper, probably wasn't going to sleep with Beyonce. He had to go out and be wildly talented and rich to put himself in this situation to get in front of her and wow her with his charm. You know what I mean? So manifesting also has to do with doing the thing. So it's not enough for these athletes to simply think about it, their success. Then they have to go hit the fucking ball, but maybe thinking about it helps them hit the ball. So there is, you know, we have concrete examples that the manifestation thing is a thing, don't we?
Well, yeah. And most of the time people are using it backwards. You're manifesting what you don't want, because if all you're doing is thinking about what you don't want. I don't want this to happen. Oh my God, what's going to happen if this? So you're literally, I mean, I have an aunt who is so negative. It's like everything in her life. She's always sick. She's always, there's always something going on. She goes through the car wash. Somehow the window comes down, fills the car with soap bubbles. Have you ever heard that happening to anyone? And they tell me this story and I go, I can totally see that happening to her. People that are negative, they love it. They bring about negativity in everyone else. And if you have a spouse or somebody that's negative too, oh my God, it's like negativity vortex. You're just living in it. So yeah, you're totally manifesting that life and then wondering why, your life is no good. You're doing it to yourself.
There are people that just fall in love with the struggle and they can't admit it. Like there must be some sort of reverse dopamine hit because they like the victimhood of the situation or something. Because very rarely, I think, do people fucking constantly run to the thing they hate unless they're getting something out of it. Like they can't articulate it and it may be subconscious, but there's something that you enjoy about this situation. Another thing that you said on your Instagram page is that if you've ever gone to school, watch TV, have the internet, you're brainwashed.
Oh, right.
That's disappointing. I don't want to be brainwashed. How do we undo the brainwashing?
It's programming. I mean, you have to think about it. When we're born, kids are blank slates. And go back in your memory and think about it. When you were happy, you would laugh. You were sad, you would cry. You get over things really quickly. Then you start to get programmed. Our parents, our teachers, our siblings, coaches, the media, where you're born in the world, your religion, that is programming because you're getting things from your mom who got it from her mom, who got it from, you're getting generational programming. So now you're an adult. It's like, what is going on? You've got a bunch of old rusty programs running in your head. And it's all you got to do now is look at it. Because as a child, you're not responsible, but now you are. It's like, you got to stop blaming everyone else, everything else, and go, okay, I created this. The ego death that you're talking about, it's getting rid of that part of you that you created as a child that, I like this, I don't like that, I'm afraid of this. That is your ego. It's like when you were a kid, you didn't have that. You built that for survival or for whatever reason. So you want, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to do any kind of steps or program. Meditation will start to release these things. You'll be crying. I mean, it's crazy. You don't know what's leaving you until the next time something happens and it doesn't trigger you anymore. Because we have all these triggers. Every time something reminds us of something we've stored, it comes up. It's trying to leave. The energy pattern is trying to go. And it's like we push it right back down. And that's most people's life over and over again. If you start, like you said, driving in traffic, somebody's driving ahead of you, they're too slow. If you're back there yelling and screaming and they're up there driving oblivious, you're creating something else that you're going to put inside. If you let go of those little things first, like that, like it's raining today and I'm going on a picnic. Now God hates me because it's raining. What did I do to deserve the rain? That's what people do. Like it's meteorology. It has nothing to do with you, but you let go of the little things like the weather and the car and the, standing in line at the bank or whatever. The big things will start coming up because now you've let the little shit go and the big stuff wants to get out. So it's like going to a therapist without going through all the trauma. I mean, and without paying the big bill. Like you can do this yourself. It doesn't matter where you are, what you do for a living, nothing. It's like, you just got to spend some time with you.
It's such like, school TV, the internet's poisoning us. We are a country that is over medicated. I think we can all buy into this. Potentially overdiagnosed. I just ran the numbers the other day. Something like 16% of Americans are on depression meds. 13 or something's on anxiety, people on ADHD shit. This idea of meditation is Eastern philosophy for the most part, right? It comes from Asia, not from the United States. There's not a lot of money in meditation. Do you think that there's anything? Do you think this is purposeful or just our society has evolved into this thing and then we haven't caught up to other means of dealing with it outside of medicine?
Well, Eastern philosophy, we're talking thousands of years ago, they knew this because they meditated in caves for 24/7, and they got this wisdom way back then that it's an inner thing. Even in the Bible, the kingdom is within you. I mean, it's all talking about going inside. You have to realize that, you're here and your worth's like people have no self-worth. They just don't believe that they deserve these things. And if you don't believe it, that you can have what you want and I don't mean a big mansion and a Ferrari. I mean, it's not always that. It's just a happy life, a great partner, a safe family. It's not always, I want to be a superstar with a Bentley and a beach house. You have to go after what you want. I'm sorry. What was the, you kind of cut out. What was the end of the question?
Well, I guess it's so it looks just on from the West. And let's just take the United States since we're Americans and we can criticize ourselves without any bullshit. School TV, the internet, the overdiagnosis, perhaps, certainly the over medication, the over medicinization of Americans. I don't know that that meditation is being pushed on us, and I'm not sure why. If we're really trying to solve this problem, we have thousands of years of evidence to suggest that this is exactly what could help us. Is it just because there's no money to be made in it, or it's difficult and people don't want to do it, or they don't believe in it because it seems a little woo-woo-ish, you know? Sit down, cross your legs. It's take a pill. That's what Americans do. We take a pill.
Right. But that's why, we've got the highest. I mean, everything here is crazy. The anxiety, we're killing ourselves with strokes and heart attacks. That's a man-made, that you're doing that, whether you believe it or not, you're creating the anxiety. So, I mean, transcendental meditation, there's a lot of money in that. Every celebrity you hear of does. And I went and I learned that. I mean, it is fantastic. What I'm accomplishing, I do the same thing, but it is amazing. So there are a lot of people. I mean,
Howard Stern is a huge trend. He talks about it all the time, and he's not exactly a goofy character.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. It's a tool like anything else. Americans they look at everything they don't understand as like it's bad. It's or that it's going to go against their religion somehow, which is such a joke because they're only a lot of Christians. It's like they believe in them, like they want to have what they want. They don't want you to have. There is a group of that. And it's not just Christians, but I mean, there's a religious group where it's like they want to keep everything from you, but they don't want you taking anything from them. And that seems to be, anything different like meditation, they look at as some sort of blasphemy, like it's a religion, and it's not. I mean, even in the Bible, they're talking about, contemplation, prayer. It's the same thing. You're just sitting alone and you're connecting to yourself. So yeah, and who cares if the world is behind? It doesn't mean you have to be watching this because if you are sick of being in the rat race of life and you don't want to, I mean, you don't have to quit your job, divorce your wife. You can make all that better by meditating. So why not try it? You don't have to buy anything. Just sit there and give it a try. I couldn't do it. I mean, for the first weeks, I couldn't sit still. I mean, I was antsy. That's the way it is. But you get over that very quickly. So you got to see the dividends pay out in your life. Did you see this, by the way? I don't know why this is coming through like that. It's because of the green screen, I guess.
It's not. What's going on there? What is that?
Well, we didn't talk before this.
No.
I mean, ever, right? Until we got on the camera together, because I don't want anybody to think that we had any discussion or anything, right?
No.
Okay. So let's try something. You and I will try something. Now, I do this in the seminar, but there's each one of us has a consciousness. And it's depends on what you've learned and what your life experience. But let's just say your consciousness is, the size of a tennis ball. Every time you learn more, you open more doors in your life, the consciousness kind of expands. There is a universal consciousness, and a lot of people talk about it. That is the consciousness of everyone. But most people are so caught up in their own life, they never can break through to that other consciousness. So anyway, I want to try something. You have no idea what I'm going to talk about right now. Okay.
Nothing.
I want you to go back to a birthday party when you were a kid. Your birthday party, one of them. Did you have a birthday party somewhere between, say, 2 and 12?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to put yourself back in that picture. And if you can, smell the smells, the cake or whatever, kind of feel it, get the feeling of it. And I want you to look around the room. And I want you to spot somebody there that you haven't talked to in a while, somebody maybe you were close to then. Okay. Can you see them?
Yeah.
What's their first name?
Well, Marion or Mimi, my grandmother.
It's the same person though, right?
Yeah.
It's Mimi, Mimi.
Yes.
And now she's passed?
Yes.
And how long has that been?
5 years. No, COVID. 3 years, somewhere between. 3, 4, something like that. 3, 4, 5, something like that.
And which side of she was your grandmother on which side?
My mother's mother.
Okay. Mother's mother. Now you guys were close?
Reasonably. I'm one of 30 grandchildren, but yeah.
I'm going to put this up to the camera now. Again, this has the effect because of the green screen.
Yeah. It's very shiny. Although she was shiny.
I want you to see. hold this up so we keep it out of the. Can you see this?
I can.
I want you to. I'm going to hold that up so you can see it. Do you see what's in there?
Piece of paper, it looks like.
Okay. I'll keep that right in the frame.
Look at you. See, this is why I didn't want to talk to you. Get out of my head, Brent Webb.
I wanted to do something for you so you get a little taste of both sides. I'm giving you the motivational side, but then there's always the entertainment side.
Okay, well, first of all, very well fucking done. And again, we've never talked. It's not like she was on social media. I have no idea. Anyway, very, very impressive. Her picture's right there, by the way, which is why I talk. Well,
nice.
Obviously, you know that since you can see through my eyes. So a lot of people on this talk about the general stuff that you do, but you're adding a spin on it, which is that you're a performer and you have this amazing ability to do stuff like what you just did. Is that the idea that you sort of can entertain and educate? Because that's I think people should smush shit together, you know?
You got it.
Is that the idea?
A motivational speaker, no matter how good they are, after a while, people feel like they're being preached to. It's somebody up there telling you how to live your life, right? And what I do is I do a show, but the entire show is themed with mind power, with how to actually change your life. So yes, there are some things in there to kind of get your attention and to kind of dazzle you, but you're learning at the same time. So it's kind of a backdoor way of doing it, but it's a great thing because people don't turn it off. Because they're connected to what you're doing performance wise, they take in the information. I get emails every day, messages from people. Cause again, I'm not trying to sell stuff here I have things, but I'm not pushing anything. Yeah. I literally always tell everyone, you don't need to buy anything from me or anyone else. Everyone's trying to sell you a course, get you to go on a retreat, that kind of stuff like Tony Robbins. It's great. Yeah. But when you're doing a weekend retreat and now it's Tuesday and you're back at work, that motivation is gone. He gets you in such a pumped up state. There's no way to possibly keep that. You just can't. This is a slow build. So like I said, if you can connect to somebody, they get enamored, they're amazed, but they take something from it and it starts to work for them. That's everything. So yeah, it was hollow. Getting on stage and wanting applause, you have to be you just said about narcissist. Think about that. That's what I'm doing, right? My whole life is applaud for me. Now it's okay, I'm giving you something. I don't feel like I'm slighting you so much because at least I'm giving you a tool,
And you're giving them what you just, that's sort of a peak experience. No one's ever done whatever the fuck that was. That's something that I'm going to go tell my mother. I was like, yo, this fucking guy, you got to watch today's episode. He talked about your mother out of my head. So you were providing a sort of peak experience and talk about the whole Carl thing, ruminating over negative things. I think it has to do with because negative shit sucks and it makes you feel a certain way. And it's easy to revisit as opposed to a random Tuesday where nothing happened. So I think it's sort of brilliant that you're doing this very interesting shit that gets people going and interesting and want to talk about it. And then you slip in a message. That's some good marketing shit right there.
You got it, Eric. You're one of the few people that really, you get it to the T. That's exactly what I've been trying for the last 5 years to do that. And I finally, the last year and a half, got a show, the shows, the seminar, everything is just running like that. And that is it. It's like, it's not hidden so much, but it's like you're giving them something incredible and experience, but you're also giving them life tools that they can use without them feeling like they're being preached to or being told to do something. Because a lot of people, you don't even know if they've done it. It's like they're telling you all this stuff. Everything I teach, everything I talk about is because it works for me. It's not because I read it in a book somewhere and I'm telling you because I got it third hand. I know it works because it's worked for me and it's worked for people I work with and students of mine. So I know it works. It's like you don't need anything. It's just you and some quiet time. That's pretty much it.
Now, I know that you say that you're not selling anything, and I believe you, but I will say that you are also pretty prolific. So if you go to, this is one of your books, Master Your Mind. You also have The Power Within. You also have Declutter Your Mind. And there was a million more. I just didn't do it because I'm lazy. But so it's not, if you can't see you on stage, you can also buy your literature. Do you want to tell people where they can get it? There's a lot of stuff on your website, but pimp yourself out for a second.
You can go to brentwebb.com. So BRENTWEBB.com. And there's a lot of free stuff there. You don't, again, yes, there are stuff you can buy, but you don't have to. And I don't need you to buy it. That's what I like. I've had a great career and I'm not doing it for the money. I think that's the difference. I really want to get this message out to people that you've got this power. You can change your life. We can change the world this way. It's like you can't do it by war and by fighting, because whoever has more missiles is going to win that. This, if you change yourself, people get kind of, they get inspired. They start to change your family. That's how we slowly do this, right? So the other thing is I have a free Facebook group. It's brentsgroup.com. And again, nothing to buy. It's free, but I'm in there every day posting at least 3 or 4 times a day, short video clips, giving you these kind of actionable steps. Look, try this today. Do this mind hack today. Try this in the morning, just to give people, a little bit. And if you follow me with any regularity, you can do this, because I am giving you the bare bones. It's not like I'm not cloaking this in a bunch of stuff to try to sell you something. I'm just trying to say, hey, you've got this inside you. Here's how we're going to start working on it. So if you follow me, it's brentsgroup.com. It's free, but feel free to join. And there's 10,000 people in there, and and we're very selective. So there's no spam. There's nothing like that, but it's all people trying to help each other. And that's what it's all about. I mean, the internet's so negative. I mean, my God, if you read the comments on, like, I don't even look at the news anymore online because it's so ridiculous. Like, it's just negativity overload.
The comment section is further proof that there's no God, just on anything. I remember the example I used to bring up before it got really, really, really bad is years ago on YouTube. I remember it was, I was watching an Ozzy Osbourne video, and it was one where Randy Rhoads was prominently featured. And the first comment was, if you could make a super group of all the dead musicians, who would you have? And the first guy goes, well, obviously Randy Rhoads on guitar. The second guy goes, Randy Rhoads is gay. And I was like, how do we go on an Ozzy Osbourne bit? Like, you think it's safe place, we're all just going to talk about some rock and roll? Nope, it happened immediately. And that was where, in a space where it's supposed to be a good time. So you go to political articles, like, oh my God, foxnews.com. Those comments, the vitriol is dripping. It's crazy.
I know. People are miserable. They want you to be miserable. I mean, that's what it is. There's a lot of people who don't want to, they like misery and they want you to be miserable. So, I mean, these comments, a lot of them are for likes and for attention. I mean, you see people post things that is just a trigger to get a huge reaction from. It's not what they believe in, or if it is, it's really screwed up. But it's like you're posting that because you want to fight in your comments. That is what everybody wants, because if you get that, your algorithm is going to push you, out to more people. So it's a crazy thing. Everybody thinks they're equal. The guy in his basement who lives at home, is 40 years old, thinks he's equal to, like, a seasoned journalist from CBS News. Everyone thinks the playing field's even. These conservative bloggers are equal to, the CNN anchor. It's just crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
It's fucking batshit crazy. And there's a couple of things. One, it's the clickbaitification of the news today. You have to be batshit crazy to get a click, and that's the only thing that pays the bills. And the other thing is, in our personal lives, we default to the experts all the time. Like, at no point do you knock on the pilot door and you go, hey, we're at 30,000 feet. Yeah, I read on the internet we should be at 31. No, you just sit down, shut the fuck up, you land, you get off the goddamn plane.
Right.
But as soon as as soon as an issue becomes politicized, we do a little bit of research, and then we Dunning-Kruger affect ourselves into thinking we know. And then we spew our shit. Like, nobody had an opinion on vaccines 25 years ago, unless you're a super lefty yoga mom in California. But then it became politicized, and then everybody knows everything. Everybody knows everything, but they couldn't pass a high school chemistry test right now. I guarantee it. Neither can I. By default to experts, like we normally do when we're normal people. One more thing before we go, because I was curious about this, and it really has nothing to do with anything in particular, but you said you were a millionaire at 21, and then you lost it, and then you got it back. First of all, how the fuck does anybody millionaire at 21, and then how do you blow up $1 million?
It's really what I mentioned earlier. I was all about it my whole life. I mean, I thought money is it. And when I make this, I'm going to be happy. Remember the TV show Dallas? I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 44.
Okay,
I'm familiar.
I was a little kid when that show started. I was like 4. It ran until I was in high school. I watched that show by myself. I mean, here's, my parents completely dropped the ball on that, because it's like, this show's all about, affairs and blackmail and scandal and murder. And here I am. It completely programmed me. I thought, wow, this is how to be happy. I want to be like JR. I want to be, I want to be ruthless. I want to make money. He was always smiling. He got all the women, he got all the money. And so when I finally got that, I met Joan Rivers when I was 19. I was out on the road when I was 18. So yeah, when I finally made that pinnacle in my career and I got those things, And then I realized this is all BS. I've got them and I'm not happy. Matter of fact, I'm worse because now I've got all the other crap I have to worry about. I have to worry about a pool person it was like crazy. And I have payments and I have this and that. So it was like, that's when I started drinking. I started drinking, I started smoking. I had cancer and then I started smoking like a moron. 2 packs a day I got up to, and that was after I had been in remission for, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it's like, makes no sense. But I was so miserable. That's what I did. I just squandered it away because I spent all those years and I was still performing, but I just had no conception of holding on. My dad used to say, you are the worst person ever. I would go out and I bought a new Lotus one time with cash and then, had to sell it for a loss. Just the dumbest crap because I just had I thought it was like a faucet that ran forever and that it was going to make me happy. And when it didn't, I did everything to self-sabotage myself. I spent almost a decade like that, where it was like everything I could possibly do. I taken drugs, doing whatever to try to numb it. And then I finally realized that wasn't going to work. And I did the retreat. I started meditating and then everything I just slowly fell away. I didn't become a vegetarian because I sought out to do it. Something happened to me where I just don't want to eat animals. And you can say whatever you want about it. Like, oh, it's new age or it's this. I don't have that. I did not have that belief, but there was something that happened that fell away. The smoking fell away, the drinking, the thought of a drink, like it just makes me kind of sick in the stomach. I used to drink a bottle of vodka a day. Okay. I could drink.
That's a drinker's drink.
Yeah.
Nobody drinks a bottle of vodka a day unless you have a problem.
I have bottles everywhere. I have bottles in the dressing room all over the place. And it's like, once you go, okay, these are mindset things. I can do this. Then I started making it the right way and feeling good about it. And I wasn't trying to hold on to it so hard, and it just changed. It was all about what I can do to help other people. It sounds so corny. I hate saying stuff like that because it does. Helping others. But that's really, that's what it's about. Because just getting applause for me now is just hollow. This is like, wow, I gave somebody something that can actually change them and change their kids. If people have generational trauma they're dragging into the next generation. But you put a stop to that, you're going to save your kids. You're going to save your children from the crap you have been through by being the one that just says, I'm not carrying this to another generation. It's just a little bit of awareness. That's all it takes.
You're an interesting case study of a study I read years ago about why the successful are miserable. And the finding was when you're in pursuit of something, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You think, if I just get this, I will be happy. But then when you get it and you're not happy, then you're even more miserable because there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And that seems to be exactly what happened to you, which is, I've always said this inside of this study, but I've never met somebody who's lived it. So that's, hey, here we are.
That's really it. It's just you don't get anything from those out. We live in these two worlds. You've got an inner world and an outer world. Like inner world is thoughts, emotions, feelings. And then there's the outer world, which is like houses, cars, people. And it's like everyone thinks the outer world is the primary and the inner doesn't really matter. And it's like I said, courage, love, happiness. Those are inner things. Like you can't get them out there, but we're all looking out there. We spend our whole life searching. And then what happens is what you said, you get it. And how long are you happy before you need the next thing? It doesn't last, but we still do it. Nobody ever looks at that and goes, this has not worked my whole life. Why am I still doing this? We just continue till we die. You'll be on your deathbed doing it, not wanting to go. It's like, and when you let go of all of that, life becomes so much easier.
It's just such an unhealthy attachment to physical things that are bound to disappear and disappoint you. I do think there's some credence to the idea that you can really like those things. Listen, I'm a bourbon snob but I drink it and I piss it out. Just don't hold on. Just be happy when you have it and then recognize that it's sort of fleeting and it's hedonistic and there's a time and place for that too. But I think when you put an overemphasis on the stuff that's fleeting and hedonistic, then you're running into problems.
Got it.
All right, man. Listen, you were great. Let me just stick around. I'm just going to end the show because it's been an hour and, people have things to do. They have to go eat animals and do drugs, look for happiness.
And meditate.
Meditate. This is the lesson here. You got to meditate if you want to be happy. Stop it with the drugs. They're no good for you. Anyway, be back tomorrow. Good night, America.